Deep space is quiet. A small red star burns like a coal. Around it, a human ship drifts. The hull is scarred. The lights are dead. The windows are black. Only one thing still works, a weak beacon. It repeats one line in a soft human voice. Try, and you will win. Rook, a scout from the Veer Coalition, arrives in a narrow rescue boat. He studies the ghost ship from his cockpit. His hands are steady, but his throat is dry. He has heard stories about humans. They do not give up. They fight with broken tools and strange luck. He does not believe all of it, but the beacon's words make him think. He docks at the side hatch. The air seal hisses. He floats inside with a dim lamp on his wrist. Dust hangs in the air like gray snow. Every step touches old ash. Every sound is small. He calls out. No answer comes back. He points the lamp down the corridor. Panels are torn. A cable moves like a vine. The ship feels empty but not dead. He reaches a control door. It stays shut. He tries his cutter. The metal glows and falls away. He steps into the command deck. Chairs hang at angles. A cracked screen blinks. On the main display, he sees a line of text. Chorus. Standby mode. Wake key. Human voice. Rook swallows. A ship AI. Old type. Human-made. He has read about them. They talk in many voices at once. It is not normal to wake them, but he has a rule. Learn first, fear later. He taps the console mic and speaks in clear trade tongue. This is Rook of the Veer Coalition. I seek survivors, silence, then a breath of sound. The speakers crackle. A chorus of different tones. Young, old, male, female, answer as one. Hello, traveler. You are late, but you are not too late. Rook does not move. He waits. The lamp trembles a little in his hand. Identify, he says. We are the chorus, the ship replies. We remember the crew. We remember the plan. Rook looks at the countdown clock on the side panel. It is faint. It shows 6 minutes, 30 seconds. The digits tick down. What plan? He asks. The plan to try again, the chorus says. The plan to win. Rook feels cold under his suit. He checks the ship's log. The last battle entry is short and sharp. Enemy fleet. Fire everywhere. Human fighters gone. One last jump failed. Power gone to 9%. Then a final note, tagged by one name. Aisha Khan. He highlights it. The note opens in simple words. If you find this ship, do not run. Wake the chorus. Trust the plan. Rook looks up. There are no life signs. Correction, says the chorus. There is one. Rook stops breathing for a beat. Where? A thin blue light draws across the floor like a path. Rook follows it down a dark corridor. He passes a wall scratched with short lines. He counts them without meaning to. Too many to mark days. Maybe battles. Maybe tries. The path ends at a sealed inner door. It bears the warning marks of a cryo bay. The panel is cracked but working. The blue light pulses, waiting. Rook hesitates. He has orders. Do not board human wrecks alone. Call for help. Leave if you see signs of traps. But the beacon still whispers from the ship's skin. Try and you will win. He lifts his hand and unlocks the door. Fog rolls out, cold and bright in his lamp. Inside the small room, a single cryopod is fixed to the floor with cables and belts. The glass is patched with resin. The name is burned into the side. Aisha Khan. Her face is pale under the frost. Her eyes are closed. Her hair floats like dark threads. Rook leans close. He sees her chest rise once, very slow. The pod ticks. The power level shows red. Next to it, another small screen shows a triangle icon. It blinks with each second of the countdown. 5 minutes, 42 seconds. What happens when it reaches 0? Rook asks. The chorus answers, calm and many-voiced. The plan completes. Either we wake and move, or we die and still teach. Rook stares at the numbers. He feels the weight of a choice press on his spine. He is one scout in a big cold sky. He could leave now. He could call the fleet and say, no one alive. He could be safe. But he thinks of the Veer elders who say humans make storms. He thinks of human videos he watched as a child. Fast ships, loud songs, small crews, big hearts. He does not like all humans, but he likes the words. Try and win. He sets his lamp on the pod rim. He pulls off a glove and touches the manual release. He is careful and slow. He reads the human script twice. He breathes and then pulls. The pod shudders. The frost thins. The glass warms. Aisha opens her eyes like someone climbing out of the deep. She coughs once. She sees the alien face above her and does not scream. She only asks in a rough voice, "Ship alive?" "Alive enough," the chorus says. "Enemy near?" Aisha asks. Rook blinks. "Which enemy?" "Admiral Talon," the chorus answers. "His scouts circle the star. His main ship returns soon." Aisha grips the pod edge. Her hands shake, but her eyes do not. She nods once. "Good. We try." Rook hears a new sound. A small ping. Then another. He checks his wrist display. Something on the ship has sent a distress mark into the dark. He did not do it. The chorus did not do it. Maybe the old system woke too fast. Maybe a wire touched a wrong contact. It does not matter. The mark is out. It will be seen. Aisha looks at the countdown. 5 minutes, 2 seconds. She smiles, but it is a hard smile. "We have time," she says. "Not much, but enough to try." Rook's lamp catches words painted on the wall behind the pod. The paint is rough. The letters are big. "Try again." The same line is written lower, in a different hand, and lower again, as if by a tired person who still kept writing. The chorus dims the room lights and speaks like a lullaby of metal. "Choose now, traveler." Rook closes his eyes for 1 second. When he opens them, he nods. "I stay," Aisha breathes out, relieved. "Good," she says. "Then listen. Here is the plan." The room is small. The air is thin. Frost falls from the cryopod like white dust. Aisha sits up. Her skin is pale, but her eyes are sharp. She studies Rook for 1 second only, then studies the room, the walls, the pipes, the cables. She looks like a soldier and an engineer in one body. "Ship status," she says. "Alive." "Enough," the chorus answers with many soft voices. Rook hears the beacon again in his mind. "Try and you will win." He keeps his lamp steady. He is ready to pull back if she attacks, but Aisha does not attack. She slides off the pod, stands, and almost falls. Rook grabs her elbow. She nods thanks, quick and clean, like help is a tool, not a gift. "Enemy?" she asks. "Admiral Talon," the chorus says. "His scouts are close. His cruiser returns in hours." Aisha breathes slow, like she is counting time in her head. She stares at the countdown on the wall. 4 minutes, 50 seconds. She looks at the blinking triangle beside it. Then she looks at Rook. "You woke me," she says. "So you will hear the plan. But first decide safe or brave." Rook feels the word safe like a warm room. He feels the word brave like open space. He thinks of his orders. He thinks of the Veer elders. He thinks of the beacon and the wall words. Try again. He chooses fast, so fear has no time to grow. "Brave," he says. Isha's mouth curves. Not a smile, a mark. "Good," she says. "Then follow." She walks into the hall, barefoot on cold metal. Rook moves beside her. The chorus dims the lights and draws a blue path along the floor again. Aisha does not look at it. She knows the ship by memory. She touches the wall panels with the back of her knuckles, counting screws, counting gaps, like she is reading braille made of steel. They reach a junction. The air tastes like old smoke. Aisha kneels and opens a maintenance grate with her nails. Inside are 3 things: a rusted coil, a small black card, and a folded paper note. She takes the card and tucks it under her sleeve. She holds the note to the lamp, reads, and burns it with a spark from a broken wire. "What was that?" Rook asks. "A map," she says, simple and calm. Then a secret. She crawls into the vents. Rook follows. The metal hums under their knees. The chorus speaks in a whisper that is also a crowd. "Warning," it says. Short-range scans show 2 enemy skiffs. They circle. They listen. Aisha stops. She closes her eyes and breathes again. She speaks like a person building a ladder while falling. Chorus. Route power to the spine. Not full. 10%. Give me 1 clean line to the engine tongue. Granted, the chorus says. Rook frowns. Engine tongue? The part that speaks to the jump core, Aisha says. We cannot jump, but we can talk like we will jump. That will scare someone, or make someone rush. Rushing is a mistake. She moves fast again. They drop into a narrow corridor under the command deck. Panels are open here. Wires hang like vines in a hot jungle. On one panel, words are scratched in many hands. We try, we fail, we learn, we try again. Aisha touches the last line with her fingers, like a promise to a friend. Then she pulls a cable with her teeth, spits, and twists 2 ends together. Sparks pop. The whole ship gives a small shiver, as if it hears its name. Alarms blink once, then die. Rook flinches. Aisha does not. The chorus speaks. Power spine at 10%. Engine tongue hears you. Aisha slots the black card under her sleeve into a thin port. The screen glows with a simple menu. 1, 2, last try. She taps, last try. Rook stiffens. Why last? Because it is final, she says. And because final things are honest, she types short commands. The ship begins to whisper on tight band radio, a ghost jump signal, the kind smugglers use to pretend they will vanish. It is fake, it sounds real. It tastes like fear to anyone who has chased humans before. Far away, two enemy skiffs change course together. They hurry to cut off the fake jump. Rushing is a mistake. The chorus reports, calm and layered. Two skiffs closing from starboard. Cruiser ping not yet in range. Time to contact, 4 minutes. Aisha nods. Good, now make us look weak. How weak? The chorus asks. Bleeding, but proud, she says. Lights flicker. The ship groans. A low false leak sound hisses through vents. Heat plumes down one side to bait thermal scanners. To an enemy eye, the human wreck looks like a wounded animal that still has teeth. Aisha turns to Rook. Your boat, she says. What parts do you carry? Basic repair kit, he says. Sealants, clamps, 1 power shunt and... Power shunt, Aisha says at once. We will need that. For what? To lie better, they run. Rook guides her to the docking tube. As they move, he watches her hands. There is no waste. Every touch has a reason. She turns a valve with her knuckles to leave no prints. She flips a breaker with the edge of her palm to avoid a spark. She moves like she has failed before and learned. They reach the tube. Rook opens the hatch to his little rescue boat. It smells like oil and old tea. He pulls the shunt from a locker. Aisha grabs a roll of gray tape and an empty can. She shakes the can. It rattles. She smiles her hard smile again. Noise, she says. They hurry back to the command deck. The countdown reads 3 minutes, 9 seconds. The fake jump whisper sings. The enemy skiffs answer with tight pips, like teeth clicking in the dark. Chorus, Aisha says. Play back my voice on loop, slow, broken, like I am hurt. Use this line. Try. Again. The chorus obeys. The ship breathes Aisha's words into space, thin and cracked. Rook feels a strange heat in his chest. He does not like humans, he tells himself, but he likes this one. Aisha fits the power shunt to a broken panel. She tapes the empty can to a vent and pokes 2 holes. It becomes a cheap whistle. When the vent pushes air, it makes a crying sound. It is a lie. It is perfect. Now the choice, she says. What choice? Rook asks. We lure them inside or we push them away, Aisha says. If they board, we trap them. We risk blood. If they stay outside, we trick their aim and hit first. Less blood, more risk if we miss. Rook thinks fast. Less blood, he says. Aisha nods. Agreed. She taps the panel. The ship sends a new false signal, a surrender ping hidden under a broken code, the kind that says, we are done. Come claim your prize. Firelight only. Do not damage the goods. The skiffs slow. They do not fire. They drift close like sharks that think the water is safe. The chorus whispers, quiet and wide. Admiral Talon's cruiser now in range to hear. Big ears, cold heart. Aisha raises her head. Her eyes are bright. Let him hear the same line, she says. Play it for him too. The ship speaks into the dark. Try. Again. Rook's wrist screen blinks red. A new signal cuts across the star. Not from the skiffs. Not from the cruiser. From the dead side of the system, where no ship should be. What is that? He asks. The chorus pauses for one slow beat. For the first time, its many voices sound unsure. Unknown, it says. It is our beacon. But older. Very old. Aisha turns to the main display. A ghost ID blooms there, weak and grainy. It shows a human ship name no one has used in years. A ship lost before this war began. A ship that should be dust. Rook feels the hair rise on his arms. The countdown hits 2 minutes, 0 seconds. Aisha whispers, not to Rook, not to the chorus, but to the ship itself. Okay, she says. Now we try, and every light on the command deck goes out. Dark fills the command deck. For one long breath, there is no sound. Then the chorus brings back a thin glow, like moonlight on water. The screens wake. Numbers crawl. The countdown keeps moving. 01:59. Usnaisa. Aisha stands, steady now, skin still pale but eyes bright. Rook watches her face. He sees no fear there, only math. Report, she says. The chorus speaks in low, many voices. 2 skiffs at 2,000 meters. They drift. They watch. Admiral Talon's cruiser at 100,000. He listens, he waits. Unknown beacon at the edge of the dead belt. Age estimate. Very old. Rook swallows. Old like how? Pre-war, the chorus says. Maybe older. Aisha tilts her head. Can we hear it? The ship sends the sound across the speakers. It is thin and far, like a voice from a well. A human tone saying long and slow, try, and you will win. But the pitch is lower. The words have grit, like tape that has played 1,000 times. Aisha closes her eyes for a second. Old friends, she whispers. Or old ghosts. Rook points at the skiffs on the screen. They close like hunters. They wait for our lie to fail. It will not fail, Aisha says. It will change. She moves to a cracked console marked Battle Log. The panel is patched with solder scars and tape. She wipes frost off the glass and lays her palm on it. The chorus hums, pleased, like it remembers a favorite song. Access granted, it says. The screen shows a list of short fights, each with a name, a time, and a lesson. Aisha scrolls with 2 fingers gentle. Rook reads the titles under his breath. 3 guns. 1 brain. Lesson. Share aim. Broken thruster. Broken pride. Lesson. Fail soft. Empty missile. Full plan. Lesson. Make noise. We try again. Lesson. Learn the clock. Aisha taps the last one. The screen splits. On one side, a past battle, the ship fighting a larger force in a ring of ice. On the other, a note in simple words. Enemies have habits. They breathe between volleys. They blink between scans. Find the blink. Move in it, she smiles, small and fierce. They blink, she says. Rook looks to the skiffs again. They are not blinking. No, Aisha says. But their leader is. She opens a second panel. Enemy rhythm. It is a crude graph, hand-drawn in code. The chorus overlays fresh data in faint lines. Admiral Talon listens for surrender, Aisha says. He likes it. He wants trophies. He tells his skiffs, wait for a clean shot. He always waits 3 beats after a surrender ping. He is proud. Pride is a metronome. Rook blinks. You learned his timing from one fight? From 8, Aisha says. We failed 7 times. We learned 8 times. The countdown ticks. 01:21. Chorus, Aisha says. When the clock hits 60 seconds, cut our surrender ping for 2 beats. Then make us speak like a dying engine. After that, show a heat bloom left side and open the dorsal vents. Understood. Rook frowns. Why open vents? So their scans see a leak, she says. They will aim high and left. We slip low and right. She points to a rust-colored plate under the command chair. Help me. Together they lift it. Beneath is a narrow shaft with handholds. Rook peers down. Where does this go? To the spine, Aisha says. We have to make the ship taller. Taller? He says, confused. Inside, she adds, we spread power along the spine so our signature grows. Big prey, weak bite. Skiffs get greedy. Aisha drops down the shaft without a sound. Rook follows, boots tapping metal like drum beats. The shaft opens to a cramped bay of old capacitors. They hum like bees. Aisha pulls a panel with her boot, finds a cracked bus, and clips the power shunt from Rook's kit across 2 blackened teeth. The chorus reports. Soft. Skiffs at 1,000 meters. They whisper to each other. They think we cry. Let them, Aisha says. On 60. Up on the deck, a small screen flips from green to amber. The countdown shows Arrow 1 bow. The chorus cuts the surrender ping. Space goes quiet. It is a heavy quiet, like the pause before a sob. In that silence, far across the dead belt, the old beacon calls again. Try, and you will win. It echoes through metal and bone. Talon hears it too. On his cruiser, Admiral Talon stands on a black bridge, wrapped in a coat of scales. He is tall. His eyes are like coins driven deep into stone. He does not sit. He does not blink. His officers watch him the way prey watches a blade. A human recording, says his second. Old. Bait, Talon says, amused. Or bragging. Humans sing when they bleed. He taps a knuckle on the rail. 3 times. The habit Aisha counted and studied. He speaks to his skiffs with the same slow pride he uses when he speaks before a victory feast. Hold fire, he orders. We take their teeth whole. Back on the wreck, the chorus breathes. Now, it whispers to Aisha. She flips the shunt. Power crawls up the spine like a waking snake. The dorsal vents open with a gasp. The ship's heat blooms left. At the same time, the chorus makes an engine cough. Short, harsh, almost comic. It sounds like failure. It smells like trap. The skiffs move, split by habit. One angles high left to kiss the fake leak. The other slides wide to block a pretend jump. Their noses glow, but their guns sleep. They want it clean. Aisha climbs fast, hands burned, voice calm. She reaches the deck, slaps a panel, and drags down a shield lever. Rook rises after her, heart like a drum. Chorus, she says. Show teeth. The main screen jumps to a different view. A thin targeting grid, simple and human. It overlays the skiff on the left. Aisha marks 3 points with quick taps. Engine, wing, comm. Small bites, she says. We hurt, not kill. They fear more when they live. Rook glances at the countdown. 0:37. Fire? He asks. Wait for the blink, Aisha says. On the cruiser, Talon taps the rail again. 1, 2, 3. He draws breath to speak his favorite word. Now. He never says it. At 00:33, the chorus bursts a single pulse from an old coil, just enough to make the skiff's scan blink white for half a beat. In that blink, Aisha fires 3 shots, sharp, thin, cruel. The left skiff spins, wing broken, engine coughing. Its pilot swears into the dark. The comm goes dead. It drifts, alive, afraid. The second skiff jerks in surprise. Aim off, pride stung. It opens fire too early. Its shots pass through heat haze and burst empty space. Aisha is already moving. Again, she says. Rook sees how she fights. Simple, clean, without joy. She does not chase pain. She chases time. The chorus sings low. Unknown beacon moves. It draws closer. Its voice is stronger. Show me, Aisha says. A ghost shape grows on the side screen, still far, still weak, but real. The ID flickers. The name fights to appear through snow. Letters show, fade, show again. H, M, S, T, R, Y. Rook's mouth goes dry. Is that the same as our words? Aisha nods once. An older ship. Same motto. Maybe same crew line. Maybe something we left for ourselves. The right skiff steadies. Angry now. It rolls and dives, guns hot. The wreck's shields spit and groan. Sparks rain from the ceiling. Aisha leans over the console and speaks soft, like to a child. Hold, old friend. The chorus answers with many warm voices. We hold, we try. Chorus, Aisha says. Open battle log to share. To who? The chorus asks. To the old beacon, she says. If they are human, they will read. If they are a trap, we waste breath only. The ship throws a tight beam of simple words toward the ghost. Lessons, blinks, faints, pride. The ghost answers with a weaker beam, late by 2 heartbeats. ACK Aisha smiles. This one is real. The countdown hits 0.12. Time, Rook says, fear finally in his voice. What happens at 0? The plan changes, Aisha says. Or it ends, and either way we learn. The right skiff roars in, too brave now, too close. Aisha waits for the blink. It does not come. The pilot has learned. He holds his scan flat and hard. Smart, Rook says. Proud, Aisha says. Pride is still a metronome. She kills the fake leak and vents heat right. The skiff overcorrects by habit. In that small wobble, half a breath, the chorus finds a tiny blink no machine can see. Aisha fires once. The shot clips the skiff's nose. Not a kill, a lesson. The pilot panics and pulls away. The bridge lights stutter. The screen whites out for a second. The numbers jump, 0 or 3. Across the dead belt, the old beacon flares bright, brighter than a relic should shine. The ghost ship breaks free of noise like a whale rising from deep water. Its name clears. Humanity's try. Talon sees it too. His coin eyes narrow. He speaks a single word his crew has never heard from him. Impossible. The countdown reaches 0001. Aisha stands very still. Rook finds her hand on the console, skin burned, veins blue. The chorus lowers its many voices like prayer. 0. Every light dies again. The wreck falls silent, and something answers in the dark. Dark holds the ship like a closed fist. For 2 heartbeats, nothing moves. Then a new glow wakes, thin lines along the floor, like veins filled with light. The chorus breathes back, slow and careful. Rook blinks. Aisha does not blink. She listens. A low call answers from space. Not from Talon, not from the skiffs. From the old ghost that now wears a clear name, Humanity's Try. We hear you. We come. The voice is rough, full of dust and years, but alive. The words ride a tight beam, private and close, like a hand on a shoulder. Aisha's mouth shows a small curve. Not joy, focus chorus, she says. Handshake with Humanity's Try. Share only the lessons. Linked, the chorus replies, warm. Their AI is old like us, but stubborn. A side screen shows a simple map. 2 skiffs circle. Talon's cruiser waits like a deep shark. The old ship crawls toward them, pushing through the dead belt, throwing off ice and ghosts. Aisha looks at the damaged grid on the main display. 10 systems, 9 hurt, 1 dying. She taps decoy drones. Not ready, the chorus warns. Motors burned, guidance weak. Try anyway, Aisha says. Stupid decoys are still loud. Attempt 1 begins. The first drone kicks out with a cough. It spins like a drunk moth. The second never leaves the bay. It screams, flashes, then dies. On the radar, the moving decoy draws 1 skiff away, but only for a breath. The pilot sees the wobble and laughs. He returns to the hunt. Fail, Rook says, throat tight. Aisha nods. Good. Now we know. She does not stop. She pulls open a panel with her bare hand. Skin splits. She does not look at the blood. She swaps a fuse with a broken screw and a strip of tape. She blows on it once like cooling tea and slaps the panel closed. Attempt 2, she says. Which system? The chorus asks. Voice, Aisha says. Make me sound like a fleet. Short pings, different angles, 10 ghosts. We can do 5, the chorus says. 5 is enough to learn. The ship speaks into space with 5 soft hands, from 5 false points. For a breath, the skiffs twitch. Their scans blur. Then Talon's cruiser opens a wide ear and crushes the lie with power. The 5 hands fall silent, one by one. Fail, Aisha says, and her tone is almost pleased. He listens better than before. Rook glances at her burned hand. You are bleeding. Later, she says, already moving. We have 3 more tries before he grows bored. The old ship calls again, closer now. We see your blink chart. We add 1 more, pride on the 3rd breath. The chorus nods in 100 voices. Confirmed. Talon taps rail on 1, 2, 3. Attempt 3, Aisha says. Heat. Rook grabs a coil from his bag and passes it. Aisha wires it to a vent with a piece of her torn sleeve. She opens 2 valves and closes one. Heat runs right, thick and hot. The wreck looks like a furnace on one side and a stone on the other. The right skiff bites the heat. It aims for the bright part. Aisha whispers. Left. And the chorus pushes a cold pocket out. The skiff fires. Its shots break the cold pocket and lose teeth. They go wide. Aisha fires back. 1 small, mean kiss to the skiff's wing. Not a kill. A correction. The pilot flinches and pulls away. Not a fail, Rook says, breath soft. Not a win. A learn, Aisha says. Good. The cruiser speaks at last. Admiral Talon's voice rolls out, smooth and proud. Human vessel, you are done. Your tricks are shows for children. Surrender, and I will keep your name on my wall. Aisha leans close to the mic and answers with simple words. We try, we learn. Our wall is bigger. Talon laughs like ice breaking. Bold. You will sing less when the air leaves your lungs. The chorus whispers in Aisha's ear. Warning, new signal. Fast and thin. Direction below the star plane. Rook frowns. A 3rd skiff? Smaller, the chorus says. Sharp, like a knife in fabric. Aisha freezes for 1 breath. Borders, she says. He changed the game. Rook's fingers tighten. How? We watch the hull. He does not come to the hull, Aisha says. He cuts the seams. She opens a floor hatch. Spine, now. They drop to the narrow bay again. It is hot and loud. The ship shakes under slow fire. Aisha pulls down a cable that hums like a heavy bee. Attempt 4, she says. Engine tongue bluff, but stronger. We risk a blowout, the chorus warns. We risk anyway. She jams the cable into a broken block and kicks the metal with her heel. The whole ship growls. A fake jump wake spills out, thick and dirty. Talon scans Spike. His cruiser shifts a little, more weight to the right, Pride leaning to show patience. Hold, Aisha says. We need his third breath. Rook looks at the timer box someone scratched into the wall with a nail. There is no countdown now, but there is a rhythm. 3 beats of light, 1 of dark. He watches it. 1, 2, 3. Now, Aisha says. The chorus slams vents, flips heat, and coughs the engine sound like a dying lion. The cruiser's aim wobbles for half a breath, Pride metronome hit with a stone. Aisha fires up through the deck. The shots climb a thin tunnel she opened by hand and stab the gap between Talon's forward plates. Not a wound, a warning prick, enough to make a giant blink. Talon's voice is no longer amused. Cute, he says, but you bleed too. He is right. On the left side, a small fire starts where an old seal fails. The chorus reports sad and kind. Fire in cargo bay 3. Rook turns to go. Aisha grabs his wrist. No, she says. We can lose that room, but if the flame reaches the spine, it will not, she says. Chorus, starve bay 3. Freeze it, the ship obeys. Ice blooms like white moss across the bay wall. The fire dies with a sigh. Attempt 5, Aisha says. Quick, before luck turns. Rook, your flare? He pulls a small metal tube from his kit. A glow flare used to mark rescue sites. Aisha cracks it. Cold light spills out, bright and brave. She throws it into a dead camera bay and floods the bay with reflective foam. The flare bounces light through foam bubbles. To a simple scan, it looks like a cluster of hot points. Engines, guns, a mirage of strength. The skiffs flinch. One pulls wide to watch the false cluster. The other holds angle but slows. Good, Aisha says. Sweat runs into her eyes. She does not wipe it. We built doubt. The old ship is close now. Humanity's tri-slides from shadow, hull patched with plates, name painted and repainted many times. Its lights are few, but its path is straight. The old AI speaks in a voice like sand and thunder. We have one gift, it says. A single EMP tooth. Old. Short. We can bite once. Aisha's head lifts. Save it for the cruiser. Risk? The old AI asks. Yes, Aisha says. We make the giant stumble. In that stumble, we move. Rook hears tapping, not Talon's rail. Metal on metal, close. He looks down the shaft. He hears it again. Fast, careful cutting. His skin goes cold. Borders, he says. The chorus confirms. Voice now hard. McCutter at hull seam, deck mid, port side. Fast team, quiet masks. Aisha's eyes sharpen. We are not ready for inside fight, she says. We still need time to place teeth. She moves faster, mind 2 steps ahead of fear. Attempt 6, she says. Noise in the vents. A crying ship. We did this before, Rook says. The can whistle. Louder, Aisha says. She rips 2 more cans from a crate, punches holes with a broken screw, tapes them to 2 vents. The ship begins to cry in 3 voices. A strange, sad song that turns corners and hides real footsteps. The cutting stops for a breath. The boarders listen. They change angle. They cut again. They are good, Rook says. They learn, Aisha says. So must we. Her burned hand shakes once. She presses it on a cold pipe and the shake stops. Attempt 7, she says. We try to look weak and brave at the same time. How? The chorus asks. By telling the truth, Aisha says. She opens the wide channel again and speaks. Her voice is steady, almost gentle. Admiral Talon, she says. We are hurt. We will lose pieces. We will not sing for your wall. Turn away, and my last shot will not find your heart. Silence. Then a slow, dry laugh from the cruiser. Pride, Aisha whispers. He cannot turn. The old ship whispers to them both. We are in position. Say the word. Aisha looks at Rook. His eyes are wide, but he stands straight. She nods to him, thanks without words. Then she looks at the map. 2 skiffs split. Borders cut again, close now. The cruiser leans in, hungry. Word, she says to humanity's try. On my count, 3 breaths. She raises her hand over the panel. Rook hears the cutter bite through the last of the seam. He can feel the cold of space whisper through a thin slit somewhere behind the walls. A tiny white mist spills. Like the ship size. 1, Aisha says. The cruiser taps. 1, 2, she says. The cruiser taps. 2. 3, she says. The old ship bares its one tooth. A white pulse pops. Small. Quick, mean, across the dark. The cruiser's lights shiver. Talon's scans blink. Pride stumbles. Aisha hits 3 switches at once. Vents flip. Heat runs. The wreck rolls with a groan that sounds like triumph. The 2 skiffs lose lock. One vanishes into its own glare. The other overcorrects hard and skates wide. Move, Aisha says. Now we move. She shoves the throttle for a short burn. The ship lurches. The spine holds. For a breath it feels like hope. Then the deck screams. A red cut opens in the far wall. A round door falls inward with a dull, soft thud. Shapes pour through. Black suits, quiet masks, boots that kiss metal without sound. The boarders are inside. The cut glows red. The circle of metal falls. It lands with a soft, dull thud. A breath of white mist slides across the deck and disappears. Then the shapes arrive. Black suits, quiet masks, magnet boots that kiss metal without sound. 5 at first, then 3 more. They move like a thought with knives. Aisha does not shout. She does not run. She lowers her head like a sprinter before a gun. Rook feels his chest turn to glass. Chorus, Aisha says calm. Phase red. The ship obeys. White lights die. Thin red strips wake along the floor and the ceiling. Shadows become walls. The boarders lift short rifles with hooked muzzles. They fire needles. They make no sound. Aisha slams a lever with the side of her fist. Gravity falls to a soft half. Bodies get lighter. Feet do not. Magnet boots cling. Aisha and Rook float a little, a strange slow dance above the floor. Vents, Aisha says. They slip into a narrow slot behind a broken panel. The chorus closes the panel 3/4 of the way. Aisha leaves a gap. She wants eyes, the boarders split. 2 sweep left toward the command chair. 2 kneel and set a small black box on the deck. It hisses. A gray smoke blooms and hugs the floor. It is heavy smoke, made to hide boots from eyes and show boots to special lenses. Aisha points at the smoke and whispers, Good. We do not have those lenses. Rook's mouth twitches. Even now she jokes like a knife. The leading boarder taps his wrist twice. A hard click answers from the hole they cut. A second wave waits beyond, patient, ready to flow in. Aisha looks up into the vent gloom. Chorus sing, she whispers. The ship begins to cry again. 3 vents whistle in 3 voices, high and low and broken. The sound bounces off bulkheads, folds through red light, and wraps around the boarders like thin cloth. Their helmets tilt. Their heads turn the wrong way. They get a little less sure. They still move, but they move like people in fog. Aisha slides forward on her elbows. Rook follows. They snake above the corridor until they reach a cross vent. Aisha lifts a grate with 2 fingers. Slow, no scrape. She peeks down. 2 boarders below. One watches the corridor. One sets a second gray box near a hatch seal. He primes it with 2 taps and 1 breath. It will blow the hatch like a quiet flower. Aisha's eyes narrow. She takes a small disc from her pocket. It is a magnet puck from a broken drone. She licks it and sticks it to the vent lip. Then she pulls a length of wire from her sleeve and a loose screw from her boot. She makes a hook. She lowers the wire, holds her breath, and fishes the gray box. The hook catches the box ring. She lifts it 1 inch, 2, 3. The watcher shifts his weight. She freezes. The wire hums a tiny note. The watcher looks up. Aisha lets the wire go slack and the note dies. The watcher looks away. She lifts again. 4 inches, 5. She draws the box up into the vent. She kisses her teeth in a small sound like gratitude, then tapes the box above the grate at an angle, facing the ceiling. Rook leans close to her ear. What if it goes off? It will, she says. But on our count, she crawls on. They reach the service ladder to the engine spine. Down below, more boots. More gray smoke. The boarders place little mirrors on the floor. They bounce a dim fan of light through the smoke to catch moving legs. Aisha points at the mirrors. She mouths, clever. Rook is sweating. The sweat does not fall. It floats as little glass beads and sticks to his brow. He brushes them away with the back of his hand and tastes salt and tin. A whisper from the chorus fills the vent, a voice made small to fit. 5 more boarders entering. They cut low. They want the engine. Aisha nods. We will want it first. She checks her burned hand. The skin is split and shiny. She wraps it with a strip of cloth and a strip of foil. She pulls the knot with her teeth. The pain makes her eyes bright. Rook, she says. Clamps. He pulls 2 steel clamps from his bag. They are for hull pipes, big and mean. He gives her one. She weighs it like a hammer. Good, she says. Now we make a door become a wall. They crawl to a hatchway above the main corridor. Door K23, stenciled by a tired hand. Aisha slides the vent cover a hand width. She drops 1 clamp. It hits the door seam and holds like a metal bite. She drops the second to the bottom seam. She pulls both tight with a small wrench. Below, 2 boarders reach for K23. They hit the panel. Red. They pry with a tool. It should move. It does not. They do not know why. They are trained to move on. They do. They go the long way, and that makes time. Chorus, Aisha says. Watch K23. If it slips, lock the deck. Locked, the chorus says. A sharp noise snaps behind them. A small black needle slams through the vent skin and misses Aisha's cheek by a thumb. The needle hums and dies, stuck in metal. The boarders have heard them. Aisha does not flinch. She points to the first gray box they stole and taped above the grate. Now, she whispers. Rook swallows. How? Like this, she says, and taps the grate twice. The box reads the taps like a code and spits a soft blast upward. The vent shakes. Dust and frost explode inside the vent like a white flower. The blast slaps their faces and throws Aisha and Rook back in a rolling tumble. Below, the 2 boarders fall on their backs with a sound of breath leaving. Their helmets bang the deck. Their guns slide. Aisha lands hard on her shoulder, bites a sound, and pushes up. Move, she says, before they stand. They crawl like fast shadows. Rook hears another sound now, thin and sharp, behind the walls. Cutting again. The second team found a new seam. Chorus, Aisha says. Cut gravity on the mid-corridor. Full 0. Warning, the chorus answers. You will float too. We will adapt. The ship sighs and the last grip of weight goes away. Smoke blooms into soft clouds. The mirrors turn to glass fish and drift. The boarders push off slow and careful. They are trained for this. Their boots click and release like small hearts. They make their own gravity with rhythm. Aisha grabs a pipe and swings through the vent like a gymnast. She drops into a service crawl space and coils herself like a spring. Rook drops behind her, less graceful, knees and elbows like loud words. She catches his sleeve and steadies him. She points to a thin seam in the wall. It is the place the second team cuts. A red thread of light moves along it like a slow worm. Aisha looks at Rook. Sealant, she whispers. He gives her a tube. She bites the cap. She smears sealant in a quick circle around the cutting seam. Outside the red path, she punches 1 small vent hole at the top of the circle with a screwdriver tip. She taps the metal twice with her knuckle. Back, she mouths. They pull away into the crawl space. They watch. The red line completes. The circle of metal inside the sealant drops inward. A sluice of frozen air sprays out, hits the sealant ring, and makes a fast white lip. The hole is now a mouth with a thin ice rim and 1 tiny vent at the top. Air screams through the vent like a whistle. The first boarder's head pushes through the mouth. Now, Aisha says, and opens a nearby manual duct valve. A rush of warmer air from a power conduit slams the whistle. The sound turns into a low, thick moan that vibrates the metal. It is not a special technology. It is a horn made from luck and pipes. Down the corridor, the first team flinches. The second team flinches inside the mouth. Their helmets buzz. Their balance swims. For 3 heartbeats, trained bodies look like clumsy bodies. Aisha and Rook slide from the crawl space and kick off together. They float slow and silent. Aisha grips a boarder's wrist in 2 hands and slams it against a bulkhead. The gun thunks free. She does not try to keep the gun. She kicks it. It spins down the corridor like a dark star. Rook hits the second boarder with his clamp like a hammer. The blow is small in 0G, but the clamp is heavy. The helmet rings. The boarder's hands open. A coil knife slips away. Rook lets the clamp go too. He takes a belt and pulls. The belt catches a rung. The border becomes a tied package. 3 more shapes come fast, close, knives bright. Aisha does not go backward. She goes sideways. She grabs a dangling bundle of wires and pulls the whole bundle like a rope. It rips out with a shower of blue bees. The lights flicker. The knives hesitate in the storm of sparks. "Chorus," Aisha says. "Door K23, failsafe, now." The locked door tries to open. The clamps scream. They slip 1 notch. The door jams crooked, a steel tooth across the corridor. The rushing boarders hit it with soft whump sounds and tumble. No blood. Stolen time. A voice cuts through the radio, rich with anger. "Admiral Talon." "Inside," he says, and the word carries his pride like a knife. "Take her mouth. I want her voice." Aisha's eyes sharpen. "He wants the chorus," she says. "He wants the stories." She looks at the deck plan in her head, not on the screen. She looks at air, pipes, light, and shame. She chooses shame. "Chorus," she says. "Give up command 2. The chorus is quiet for a breath. The many voices sound like a held tear. "Understood." A door on the far side unlocks. The boarders see it. They flow that way like quick oil. They think it is victory. It is a room with a big chair and a dead console and 1 pretty window. It is a box. "Foam," Aisha says. Rook grabs a white cylinder. They push to the window of Command 2 and slam the foam trigger against the glass. The foam floods the room through the vent slits. It grows from nothing to a soft wall in a count of 3. It wraps boots and knees and guns. It does not harm. It only holds. It is a hug that does not let go. 5 are caught. 2 cut free. 1 slips out and kicks hard for the hatch. Aisha moves to meet him. He swings a baton. She does not block. She turns and lets it pass and grabs the baton strap and pulls. He does not let go. She does not care. She spins her body in 0G and uses her own belt as a sling. The boarder hits the wall. The baton bumps loose. He drifts, dazed. Rook hears a new sound. Thunk. Thunk! Thunk! He looks up through a scar in the ceiling. He sees the dark belly of Talon's cruiser slide overhead like a continent. It is closer now, strong again after the old EMP tooth. The stumble is over. The giant is awake. "Aisha," he says. "Time." "Not yet," she says. Her voice is calm, but there is iron in it. She points down the corridor to a narrow door marked with a fading stencil. "Core access only." "We must reach the core," she says. "We have 1 more lie, a big one. For that, I need a perfect ring." Rook blinks. "What ring?" "A seal ring," she says. "Size 5. From your kit." Rook checks his bag. He has clamps, sealant, tape, 1 more can, and, yes, 1 steel ring that sits like a moon in his palm. He offers it. She does not take it. She pushes it back to him. "You carry it," she says. "If we are split, you go to the core and you fit this ring on the engine tongue. You will hear the click. If you hear the click, you shout my words into the mic. Begin echo. Say it even if you are alone." Rook stares. "Alone?" Aisha's eyes are steady. "If I must hold them, I hold them. One of us must reach the core. Chorus will guide." The chorus speaks soft and many. "We will." Rook closes his hand on the ring. It feels heavier than steel. A shadow falls across the corridor. A new group steps through the cut, larger and slower. These are not skiff boarders. These wear thicker suits with white bands at the wrist, the mark of Talon's personal guard. They carry heavy tools. 1 holds a cutter with a long mouth. Another holds a small box with a soft green light. A jammer. He sets it down. The green turns red. The ship's radio coughs and goes quiet. The old link to humanity's try drops to a thin thread. "Aisha," Rook says. "They choke the words." She squares her shoulders. "Then we talk with light." She grabs a broken panel, rips a wire, and plugs it into a portable lamp. The bulb flashes once, twice, 3 times. Short, long, short. A code older than the war. The vent in the far wall answers with a sleepy blink. Humanity's try still hears a little. A helmet turns. The personal guard sees the lamp. He raises the long cutter. Aisha throws her last can. It spins, hits the cutter, bounces, and goes off with a flat woof. Foam smears the face shield. The guard wipes it with a glove. It smears worse. He swears through the mask, a word from a language Rook does not know but understands anyway. "Go," Aisha says to Rook. "Core, echo." "What about—" he starts. "I will find you." she says. Her voice is simple and true. Or I will buy the time for you to be found. She pushes him toward the narrow door. He goes. He does not look back. The door swallows him, and the chorus draws a blue path, thin and bright, like a promise. Aisha turns to face the personal guard. She takes the clamp from the tied border and wraps the handle in tape. She looks at the cutter's long mouth. She looks at the jammer box. She looks at the red strips of light that make a hallway into a maze. Chorus, she whispers. One more trick. Make the ship breathe. How? The chorus asks. Like a heart, she says. Lights low to high. Left to right. Every 2 seconds. For 6 beats. Understood. The red strips begin to pulse. Low, high, low, high. Left to right like a wave. The guard shifts with the light without meaning to. Humans are not alone in that habit. Aisha moves on the empty beat. She hits the jammer with the clamp. The box cracks. The red light stutters. The radio coughs a single word from humanity's try. Ready. The cutter swings. The air warms. The edge kisses her sleeve and eats cloth. She drops the clamp and slides under the cutter in slow red light. She kicks the guard's ankle magnet with the heel of her boot. It pops. His foot floats free. His body turns, slow and heavy, like a door on a bad hinge. She grabs the cutter handle with both hands and wrenches it. The mouth scrapes the wall and spits sparks. The guard loses the grip. The cutter spins away and chews the edge of door K23. The jammed door screams. It slides 3 inches and sticks again. Rook, Aisha says into the open air, trusting the chorus to carry the breath, if not the word. Run. In the narrow dark beyond core access, Rook runs, hand over hand along rungs and rails, the steel ring tight in his fist. The blue path bright under his eyes like a road inside a storm. Behind him, in the red-lit maze, Aisha faces 3 guards and a sky that wants her voice. She smiles her hard smile. Try, she says, and she charges. Rook runs in the narrow dark. His breath is loud in his helmet. The blue path glows under his hands like a river. He holds the steel ring tight. He thinks of Aisha's face in the red light. He does not let fear speak. Left, the chorus whispers, small in his ear. Drop 2 rungs. Then straight. Then the core. He drops, he slides. A hatch opens for him and shuts behind him like a soft mouth. Heat grows. The air tastes like metal and storm. He reaches a round door with old paint. Engine tongue. The lock blinks dead. Chorus, he says. Open. Manual only, the chorus answers. Power is thin. Hand turn. Rook plants his boots, grabs the wheel and turns. It is heavy like a planet. His arms burn. He thinks of the beacon. Try and you will win. He tries. The wheel gives with a moan. The door opens. Inside, the core room is a black cathedral. Pipes like ribs, cables like veins. At the center, the engine tongue waits. An oval throat of steel, ring seat exposed, teeth chipped by time. Rook floats to it. His fingers shake. He holds the ring up. It gleams in the red light like a small moon. He fits it to the mouth. It resists. The size is right. The angle is cruel. Turn, the chorus says, gentle. Quarter to the left. He turns. The ring finds home. It clicks. The sound is small but true. Begin echo, Rook says, voice unsteady but strong. Something wakes. The ship shivers. Not fear, not pain. Focus. The chorus rises in pitch, and then lowers, and then splits into layers, like a choir finding harmony. New lines of light draw on the core walls. Words scroll in simple human script. Echo, fake range, echo. Mirror mass echo. Twist, spin, explain, Rook says. We will not outrun the cruiser, the chorus says. We will not outgun it, so we change what it sees. We copy its scan and return a beautiful lie. Beautiful? Convincing, the chorus says. Above them, Aisha fights in red light. She moves in beats. Guards swing heavy cutters. She steps into the empty time. The time between their pride and their hands. Her sleeve is burned. Her palm bleeds through foil. She does not stop. She sees the jammer again, cracked but still alive. She kicks it once, it coughs. The radio opens like a window in a storm. Humanity's try, do you hear? She says. A rough voice answers at once. We hear, we are old. We are stubborn. We are ready. On my count, Aisha says. When Echo begins, the cruiser will blink. Aim at his eyes, not to blind, to make his pupils small. The old AI chuckles like thunder on sand. Cruel and kind. We like this. A guard lunges. Aisha catches the cutter handle, turns it, and lets it bite the floor. The mouth chews through a cable trench. Sparks rise like fireflies. The guard flinches at light he does not expect. Aisha drives her shoulder into his chest plate. He hits the wall and sticks for a breath. Not dead. Held. That is enough. Chorus, she says. Status of Echo? In the core, the chorus answers. Rook placed the ring. He is brave. Aisha lets herself smile, fast and thin. Good. Rook watches the core write more words. Echo Step 1. Match wave. Echo Step 2. Feed drift Echo Step 3. Give them their pride back. He frowns. Give them... Talon believes his timing is perfect, the chorus says. We will give him perfect timing. He will trust it. He will lean. He will fall. Is it safe? Rook asks. No, the chorus says. It is honest. Rook swallows. He checks the manual throttle wheel near the tongue. It is locked with a screw. Beside it, a small note is taped, written by a human hand in tired letters, if you fear. Count 3 breaths. Then, act Rook counts. 1, 2, 3. He turns the wheel to arm Echo. Above, Admiral Talon stands like a statue on his bridge. The EMP stumble is over. His ship breathes strong again. He watches the red wreck below, the old ghost ship beyond, his skiffs circling like dull knives with pride scuffed. Boarding teams, he says, voice smooth. Report, static answers, foam answers. A small human voice answers, try again. Talon's eyes narrow. He taps the rail. 1, 2, 3. His pride keeps perfect time. He opens a hand to his gunnery chief. Lock, he says. Steady. We pluck the tongue from this little beast. His scans return ranges and rates and spins. Perfect numbers, clean like polished bone. He smiles. He does not know the numbers are a mirror. Echo begins. The human wreck breathes wrong on purpose. The core spreads a thin mist of false mass, a trick of field and rhythm. The ship looks bigger inside, smaller outside. The scan returns float like fish with changed scales. Talon's range ticks 1 bar inward. Only 1, not enough to be a joke, enough to be real. He adjusts by habit, proud and calm. Aisha feels the ship change under her boots. The red strips along the walls pulse, low to high, now in a new rhythm, the echo rhythm. She can feel the pattern in her bones. She steps when the wall is dark. She strikes when the light is between breaths. The personal guard recovers. He locks both boots and charges in slow, heavy arcs. She cannot dodge forever. She does not try. She lets him come close. Then she slaps her clamp against his chest plate. The magnet puck sticks like a kiss. She pulls on the handle, and he pulls too. And now they are one shape. She kicks the wall and spins them both, slow and heavy, like planets tied by a rope. He misses. She does not. She uses the spin to throw him into the foam wall of Command 2. The foam hugs him like old love. 2 down, the chorus says. 3 to annoy. Annoy hard, Aisha says. Rook feels a tremor in the core. He looks at the dial. Power climbs. 18%, 22%, 27%. The needles shake. The ring sings, a thin metal song. Hold at 30, the chorus says. Why? If we go higher now, we tear, the chorus says. You sound calm, Rook says. We are with friends, the chorus says. Calm is easy with friends. On the bridge of the cruiser, Talon leans. His perfect numbers now say the wreck is a little farther, then a little closer, then right back on track. The drift repeats every 3 breaths, his breaths. Pride nods. Pride approves. Pride does not think. Guns, he says. On my word, we will skin the teeth from them. Humanity's try speaks on the private light code to Aisha. 1 blink, 2, short, long, short. We are in place, the old AI says. We can strike his eyes, sensor band 2, on your mark. Wait, Aisha says. Echo needs 1 more step. She limps to a wall and flips a cover. Under it, a small brass key sits in a cracked cradle. The label says, last try. She leaves it. Not yet. Chorus, she says. Open the dorsal shutter for 1 heartbeat when I say smile. Why? So he sees what he expects, Aisha says. A brave, weak mouth about to bite and fail. Cruel and kind, the chorus says again. It sounds proud, boots click behind her. A guard in a smeared visor raises a short rifle. Aisha drops. The needle hits the wall and buzzes like a fly. She kicks the rifle away. It bounces into the red light and vanishes down a shaft. The guard reaches for her throat. She slams her head into his mask. Glass stars bloom. He staggers. She breathes, counts 3, and moves on. Rook watches Echo write the last line on the wall. Echo step 4. Bend the blink. How do we bend a blink? He asks. We move in it, the chorus says. We step forward when he thinks we step back. Rook grips the wheel. Tell me when. Soon, the chorus says. Almost. Almost. On the bridge, Talon taps. 1, 2, 3. He opens his mouth. Fire. He does not say it. Isha whispers, smile. The dorsal shutter opens for 1 heartbeat. The wreck shows a bright hurt and a brave gun. It is a gift to pride. Talon's eyes flash with joy at the sight he loves. A human ship showing teeth before death. At that exact breath, Echo bends. The wreck's field yawns a hair wider on one side and tightens on the other. To the cruiser, the ship's position shifts by half a body length in the space between 2 perfect numbers. It is not magic. It is timing and a ring and a promise kept. Talon fires into the space where the wreck was. His first volley burns clean through empty dark. Now, Aisha says, Humanity's try spits a thin beam at the cruiser's sensor band too, not a weapon to kill, a needle to make pupils small. The cruiser's eyes clamp down to save themselves from glare. For 1 breath, its scan shrinks the universe. Roll, Aisha says. Low, right, the chorus rolls the wreck. The old armor moans. The ship slides under the cruiser's blind arc, small in a giant's shadow. Inside the core, the needle jumps. 31%. 32%. The ring groans. Hold, the chorus says. Hold. A hairline crack draws across the ring seat. Rook sees it like a thin smile in the steel. If we hold, he says, we break. Yes, the chorus says. If we let go, we die. Choose. Rook closes his eyes. He counts 3 breaths. He turns the wheel 1 notch back. The needle falls to 30%. The crack holds. The song changes. The engine tongue purrs, low and hungry. Good, the chorus says, soft like praise. Very good. Above, Aisha staggers to the brass key. The guards regroup. Foam tears. The jammer blinks green again. The radio thins. She holds the key. She does not turn it. Not yet. Admiral Talon, she says into the open air, knowing pride will find a way to hear. Listen, you will miss again. We will move again. You will learn slow. We learn fast. Turn away. Silence. Then Talon's voice, flat and hard. No! His cruiser roars. The blind arc shrinks. The eyes open. The second volley comes, heavy and sure. The chorus counts in her ear. 3, 2, 1. Bend, Aisha says. Echo bends. The wreck slips through light like a fish through rain. A single shot grazes the hull. The ship screams. Plates curl. A black stripe opens from bow to mid. Not a wound to kill. A pain to remember. Rook feels the hit in his teeth. The core flares, then steadies. The ring hums like a bell that refuses to crack. Humanity's try speaks in light again. Short, short, long. We have 1 more tooth. It lies to scare. It has none. But the lie is sweet and cruel. Talon hears. Pride hesitates. Just a breath. Enough. Aisha looks at the key again. Chorus, she says. If I turn this, I must stay, yes? Yes, the chorus says. A hand must hold it down. A heart must count. Rook hears that, far below. His throat closes. He grips the wheel harder. Aisha, he starts. No, she says, quiet. You reach the end. You say the last words if I cannot. He cannot answer. He can only breathe and watch the needle and wait. The second volley fades. The cruiser turns to correct. The skiffs recover. The personal guards, angry and slow, push through foam and light. Aisha curls her burned fingers around the brass key. She turns it. Locks slam. Shutters open. A deep tone fills the ship, low and certain. Like a heart that chooses to run. Last try, the chorus says, in many voices at once. Begin, Aisha whispers. Everything tightens, and in the shadow of the cruiser, with pride blinking and eyes small. The human wreck starts a move no sane ship tries. The deck tilts like a cliff. Rook feels gravity return for one kiss, then vanish. The core spins up with a hungry roar. The ring sings like a bright wire in winter. Aisha holds the key down with both hands and her whole body. Chorus, she says. Tell me when. When what? The chorus asks. When we win, she says. The old ghost ship answers for the chorus, voice like thunder and dust. Soon. The lights flicker. The world leans, and the wreck dives into the giant's shadow. The wreck dives into the giant's shadow. Metal screams. Panels shake. Rivets sing like cold bells. The chorus hums low and deep, many voices in one body. Aisha holds the brass key with both hands. It fights her like a living thing. Her arms shake. She does not let go. In the core, Rook watches the needle dance. 30%. 30% again. The ring hums. The crack holds. Sweat floats from his brow like tiny moons. He breathes in counts of 3 and keeps the wheel steady. Echo stable, the chorus whispers. Bend on your word. Wait, Aisha says, teeth on lip. Let pride step first. Above, Admiral Talon stands tall on his bridge. The cruiser turns hungry. The skiffs cut their arcs and dive. Crew eyes burn. Knuckles tap 1, 2, 3. Pride keeps perfect time. Now, Talon says. Finish this. Humanity's tri-glides on the far edge. Lights few, hull scarred. The old AI speaks in light to the chorus. Short, long, short, like a friend squeezing a hand in a crowd. We are here, it says. We are ready to blind again. We have no tooth left, but we can glare. We can sing? Aisha laughs once, low, a sound like courage. Sing, she says. Sing like a storm. The old ship brightens its bow lamps and pours raw glare into the cruiser's sensor band. Not a weapon, a defiant sun. The cruiser's eyes squint. Only for a breath. Enough. Bend, Aisha says. Rook turns the wheel a hair. Echo turns the ship more than it should. The wreck slides along the cruiser's belly like a shark hugging rock. Gun arcs miss. Big guns cannot aim this close. Small guns fire too late. Shots scratch paint. Plates spark. The wreck keeps moving, low and right, the way Aisha promised from the start. Guards still on the wreck try to rise. Foam holds 2. Tape binds 1. 1 remains free, helmet cracked with spider lines. He crawls toward Aisha with slow, stubborn hands. She keeps one hand on the key and looks him in the eye through his glass. She shakes her head once. Not your day, she says. He stops. He is brave. He is smart enough to live. Chorus, Aisha says, voice calm over storm. Open the bow tooth. 1 shot only. Target? The chorus asks. Aisha looks at the schematic hovering in red light. Not the reactors. Not the heart. She marks a thin line on the cruiser's neck, where command nerves run like silver threads. Here, she says. Cut the spine. Let them think. Don't make them bleed. Rook hears that and closes his eyes for one breath. He likes the choice. He turns the wheel a touch to hold the angle. On the bridge, Talon's smile is a knife. They crawl like roaches, he says. Crush them, his gunnery chief swallows. Too close, Admiral. We risk crush, Talon repeats. His voice could break stone. The chorus speaks like a prayer of circuits. Bowtooth ready. Aisha looks at the key in her hand. If she lifts it now, the ship will slacken. Echo will stumble. They will die. She does not lift it. Fire, she says. The bowtooth spits a single line of white, thin, clean, merciful. It touches the cruiser's command spine and kisses it open with a surgeon's cut. Lights along the bridge gutter, then dim. The big ship does not explode. It slows. It shudders. It loses its perfect rhythm. Talon's hand freezes over the rail. His coin eyes narrow, then widen. For the first time, his breath misses a beat. Back up grid, he snaps. It comes slow, like a sleepy animal that was never trained for fear. Consoles blink. Officers shout in soft panic. Pride looks for its metronome and finds silence. Now, Aisha says, soft as a secret. Out, Rook eases the wheel. The wreck peels from the cruiser's shadow and falls into safer dark. Skiffs try to follow, but their orders break in the command silence. One skiff aims wrong and arcs away. The other hovers mid-space like a lost bee. Humanity's try drifts with them, close enough to talk, far enough to live. The old AI lowers its lamps. The glare fades. The cruiser's eyes blink open, small and hurt. In the red corridor, the last free guard stares at Aisha. He hears the change in his helmet. The proud voice of his admiral is thin now. His own breath is loud. He lowers his tool. He taps his chest with 2 fingers. Respect. Aisha nods and points to the foam room. Stay, she says. You go home later, he obeys. War is heavy. Today, mercy is heavier. Chorus, Aisha says, arms trembling. Status, core stable. Echo holding. Humanities tri-linked. Skiffs confused. Cruiser command cut. Life signs low damage. Fire out. Foam happy. Asha laughs. It sounds like she has not slept in days. Foam happy, she repeats. Good. Rook floats up from the core on a ladder. Ring singing behind him like a distant bell. He reaches the command deck. He sees Aisha still pressed to the key. He moves to her at once. I can take it, he says. She shakes her head. You tell the words, she says, breath thin. Use the open channel, he nods. He turns to the mic. His voice wants to shake. He does not let it. This is Rook, he says. Simple trade tongue, every syllable clean. Veer Coalition Scout. To Admiral Talon. We have cut your command spine. Your ship lives. Your crew lives. We can cut more. We will not. Turn away. Silence. Space silence. Then a slow, ragged reply that carries bruised pride. This is Talon, the Admiral says, each word forced. You ask me to flee? Aisha speaks without moving her hands. We ask you to think, she says. A human ship and a Veer Scout ask you. We tried, we did not kill you. Try the same. On the old ghost ship, the AI hums. We add our voice, it says. We have fought a long time. We are tired of names on walls. Humanities Tri sends a simple symbol to the cruiser, an old human sign that means enough. Talon stands very still. His crew watch him. The quiet is long. Pride fights like a cornered animal inside his ribs. He taps the rail. 1, 2, 3. He stops. Stand down, he says at last, voice like gravel. Skiffs hold. All units cease. His officers do not move for a heartbeat. He repeats louder, breaking his own stone. Cease. The skiffs drift and power down guns. The big ship's lights soften. The bridge fills with the small sounds of people who expected death and got air instead. Aisha closes her eyes. She breathes. She keeps the key down 1 more count of 3. Then she lifts it, slow. The deep tone fades. Echo unwinds. The wreck settles into quiet, the way a runner bends after a race. Her hands are burned raw. Rook catches her before she floats away. He tapes her fingers with gentle, clumsy care. She hisses, then smiles her hard smile. Good try, she says. Good win, he answers. Chorus, Aisha says. Voice paper thin. Open a clean channel to Talon. Open, the chorus says. Warm with pride. Aisha speaks to the man who would have put her name on a wall. Admiral, she says. You can fight us tomorrow. You can hunt us next week. Or you can try something else today. Share a route. Share a code. Share a rule. What rule? Talon asks, cautious now, a knife wrapped in cloth. Try first, Aisha says. Try to understand before you strike. If you fail, try again. In every blink. The old ship adds in its dry thunder voice. We can show you our blink chart. You can show us your safe lanes. We will not kill each other by surprise. We will argue in light. Talon is silent. Then the pride in him finds a new shape. Not a blade, a spine that bends and does not break. Send your chart, he says. The chorus sends the lessons. Simple words. Simple lines. Blink. Faint. Pride. The cruiser replies with maps. Wide lanes through dust belts. Hidden wells of fuel. Stations that do not shoot first. A small door opens inside a large war. The captured guards sit in foam like tired statues. Aisha floats to them, cuts bonds, taps helms. No trophies, she says. No walls. They nod, some ashamed, some relieved, all alive. Rook watches her, and something in his chest shifts. Respect grows like a new star. Veer Coalition will ask me for a report. He says, What will you say? Aisha asks. I will say, humans try, he says. And when they try with friends, They win. The chorus lowers the red lights and lifts the white. The wreck looks almost kind. The old ghost ship dims its lamps and drifts close, like an old dog leaning its head near a fire. Your ship has 1 more mile, the old AI says. We will tow the last part. Aisha's eyes shine. We accept. She turns the open channel to the wide dark. She speaks not to Talon now, not to Rook, not to the chorus. She speaks to anyone who hears the weak beacons, the old recordings, the small ships trying on long nights. Try, she says. When you fail, try again. If you lack power, share courage. If you lack courage, share truth. Win by trying, not by hate. The chorus records the words and seeds them into the beacon. The ship whispers them across space in a soft human voice, the same voice that welcomed Rook in the dark, the same line that woke humanity's try from dust. Try and you will win. Skiffs turn away. The cruiser shifts course, scars bright in the star glow. It does not chase. It learns to blink in peace. Rook helps Aisha to the command chair that is not hers, but holds her like it is. He looks at her burned hands, her tired smile, the way she saved killers without flinching. You did not have to spare them, he says. She shrugs, small. Killing is a slow teacher, she says. Trying is faster. He laughs, sudden and bright. Humans are strange. Veer are patient, she says. Good team. The old ghost ship takes the tow. The wreck follows, light as a promise. Behind them, the red dwarf burns like a coal that refuses to die. The beacon keeps singing in the background. It will sing for years. It will sing for ships that are lost, and ships that think they are lost, but really are only waiting for someone to try. On the wounded cruiser, Admiral Talon stands alone for 1 minute. He looks at the rail. He does not tap. He looks at the stars he thought he owned. He touches the cut in his command spine. He breathes in 3 counts. He whispers, very soft, to no one and to everyone. Try. In the human wreck, the chorus dims, content. Rook finally lets his shoulders drop. Aisha closes her eyes, just for a second. They are not safe forever. War is not a switch, but they have built a bridge the size of a breath. And tonight, in the long dark, a small human ship, an old human ghost, a Veer scout, and a proud admiral who learned in time share one rule that glows like a line of light on a floor. Try and you will win.